Welcome.
Welcome.
Strong and Petty.
Episode 25?
25.
Strong and Petty. Not too bad.
Great number.
Not too bad. Just the two of us today.
Yep.
Tyler's taking a hiatus. I don't know
Working on his feet finder?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Yeah, his only feats. I think he's just probably still tired from his massive win at Manitoba's, or it might have been the ego. I don't know. Whatever it was. You ever feel like a light just turned on?
I don't know if I just had a stroke or a light just turned on.
I don't know what just happened, but
The glare off of Brett James' perfectly...
receding hairline?
Wow.
To be alive if you can't do that.
See, I was going to turn that into a Pat hair joke.
Oh, shit. Yeah,
And you took a shot at our producer, and suddenly your mic's lower.
Has your hairline always been that way, or was that just...
I've never lost any hair, never gained any hair, except on my shoulders. That's about it.
Interesting.
So I figured, since it's the two of us, I could open up and get into how you and I met.
Yeah, why not?
Maybe Brett James doesn't know this story, but probably 12 years ago, I'm sitting at a bar in St. Malo, and it's just the bartender, myself, and a man who I didn't know at the time. And, sitting in silence, having a drink. And this man looks over at me, and he says, this bar we're sitting at, I built this bar. And all around St. Malo, no one calls me the bar builder. So I don't know where he's going with this. So I'm like, yeah, okay. Like, I just came here to drink in silence, but you feel like talking. And he goes, see that parking lot out there? I dug and paved that parking lot just by myself. I did it all myself. And no one calls me, the paver. No one around town looks at me and points and says the paver. And the siding on this bar that we're sitting in and drinking right now, I picked it out, I hauled it out, and I put it up myself. And no one around St. Malo calls me the cider. But you fuck one cousin. And that was the beginning of a great friendship.
I'd never stop at one.
I mean, when you marry her, is she still a cousin?
Yeah.
Or is she just a wife?
I don't know how that... Is it twice removed, 3 times removed? I don't know how that works. I don't know. All I know is incest. It's a game the whole family can play.
It's true.
That's...
It's true.
Well, when did we meet anyways? 2000... We've talked about the Teddy
Jeez.
Bob story, but I think we met at the barn.
I think we did meet at the barn.
2000...
Like 05?
No, 2010. 2011.
I think it was earlier than that.
No, I only started Strongman in 2010.
Yeah?
Yeah, first year competing was 2011.
Okay.
Teddy Bob's. March. Yeah. Was it that way? Yeah, I should go back. Yeah, these Facebook memories keep popping up, and then I see a video of myself, and I'm like, oh, well.
The barn days were great, and they really lend themselves to things that we kind of reiterate. It feels like week in and week out.
Yeah.
But first off, Brent Ham for offering it to anyone that wanted to get in
for $5.
Strongman. Yeah.
$5. Like he didn't cover the propane and the heater.
No. Just
diesel. And we all got high for free.
Yeah.
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 A diesel heater was blaring. You'd walk in to get a blast of face. It was minus 40.
Yeah.
You had
it's so cold out sometimes.
those red ready heaters in the back.
Yeah.
And it was just blasting towards the shit. You'd pick up the bar, which had been in minus 40 barn for last week without heat.
Yeah.
No gloves on, just chalk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't figure out why your hands are frostbitten.
And then secondly, Chris was really wanting to get into strongman.
Yep.
I just enjoyed training with him.
Well, when did you guys start going?
I enjoyed training in general. Well, I did. I feel it would be like 07, 08.
Okay. Yeah.
And that would have been the earliest that you and I met. But you're probably right. Like 2010 or 11. But Chris and I would have clients from 6 in the morning till like 7 at night.
Shit.
You know, a break in the middle of the day for lunch and whatnot.
Yep.
But
Fast food.
we would wrap up at the gym at 7, and then we would drive out to Altona. And, you know, you get out there at kind of 8:30 or so.
Yeah.
Probably closer to 9, realistically. And you would train till like 11:30. And then you drive home. You get home at 1, and then we're back at the gym for 6.
That's crazy.
And but it was just doing what we had to do to get better at something we wanted to get better at.
Well, because at that point, you guys, Chris and you, didn't have any equipment. Like,
Yeah.
you had equipment for the gym and not strongman specific.
Not strongman specific, and
Yeah.
really no one in the city
No,
did.
the only guy who did was him. I don't know if any of the guys, like Michael Trudeau was competing back then. I don't know if you guys knew him back in the early.
Yeah, I got some bench shirts from him.
Oh, yeah?
I think I did, yeah.
Yeah, Derek Spence. Speaking of Derek Spence, he competed last weekend.
Really?
After 10 years, I've seen him.
Was he the surprise entry?
No, he was at the paw. I've seen in the paw.
Oh,
They did
okay.
there must have been 8 guys or whatever. I think it looked like 7 or 8 guys. And yeah, he did a little comp there. He followed me on the old Instagram.
Both those guys were
Yeah.
beauties to compete with and against.
Yeah.
Trudeau's such a good dude.
Oh, yeah. Yep. He, I hadn't seen him for, man, must have been 6 or 8 years. I hadn't seen him. But we kept in touch over social media, obviously.
I think
And
the last time I saw him was competing against him in Winkler in 2011.
Was that when he tore? No, that was Campbell. I forget his name, Campbell. He tore his obliques
Ugh.
on the power stairs.
I've never done power stairs, so I
Yeah.
wasn't at that
Yeah,
show.
he tore his oblique or his lat. It was gnarly. Like, he was hurting.
Yeah.
But Trudeau, I did I think back about 2017 or 18, I did a sleep out downtown at the square.
Pardon me, you did a what?
A sleep out.
I don't-
We slept with the homeless the night
Really?
in minus 35.
That is like the
A
most
fundraiser.
Devin thing.
Yeah. So it was with Pan Am Box. I was boxing. So I was boxing it for 5 years.
Oh, that's something Harry would arrange.
So
for
yeah,
sure.
it was for the Pan Am
Yeah.
Place type thing.
Yeah.
So we did a night with the homeless. So I slept up against a curb on a cardboard piece I found. But I was panhandling a bit on the corner to get money for the fundraising. Like, any money we could raise, I raised a bunch for it, and then, you know, so I'm there on the corner, and eventually the cops shut me down and sent me away. But
Really?
Oh yeah, they shut me down. Yeah.
Hilarious.
But I made $35 or $40 in like 20 minutes.
I bet.
Yeah, but it was right after Jets game, and I was all black Carhartt gear, so I was obviously warmer than a homeless guy. Like, I don't know how those guys survive. I really don't, because I froze that night.
Yeah.
And I'd like just walk up to windows of cars and just tap on the window, because I had my Pan Am sticker on, like showing that we're part of the fundraiser.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, a guy rolls down his window, just pulls up, stops in the middle of what would have been Maine, just pulls up, rolls down his window, and it's Michael.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, I heard about you guys on the radio. I wanted to come. And he also recognized me. It's Devin. I'm like, yeah. He's like, I heard about you guys. I have money set aside. And he gave us an envelope full of money. He
Awesome.
had heard about it on the radio, and he was actually looking for us downtown to give
That's
us money.
awesome. Yeah.
So I ended up sleeping up against a curb that night. And then there was someone who got hit by a vehicle coming out of the bar. There was a fight in one of the parkades, and someone backed up and smoked a chick and took off. And yeah, it was pretty funny. But
Jeez.
yeah, we had some homeless guys spend the night with us. We had a little fire going, and that was cold though. Yeah,
Yeah.
minus 35 it was, I think, that night.
insane.
Yeah, but
I'll stick to deadlifts for dreams.
it gave me a new respect for not even a bit of what those guys go through, because I don't have the addictions or the mental problems. Well, I have mental problems, but that they have. But that's
You've got your
crazy.
own.
I got no mental problems, but that's a crazy life they live, man.
Yeah, it is.
That one guy rolled up, sitting down with us, and he's pulling out. And the only reason I know is because I just see it right there. He's pulling out Stone Colds, but cans.
Yeah.
And then there was another one, an XL something, like beers I've never even heard of.
Yeah.
He sits down, this guy, and he's got like ripped old ski pants. He's a homeless dude. And he cracks one beer. He cracks another beer. That guy must have pulled 4 or 5 King cans out of somewheres.
Yeah.
He's just pulling them out of rips in his pants, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So that was Mr. Michael Trudeau. He ended up, he was Trudeau, right? Yeah. Trudell.
It's probably my phone.
Damn it. Yeah, I forget. Trudeau or Trudell. But he was the first guy I ever seen pull 700-pound deadlift.
Really?
We were at the barn, me, him, and Brent, and I think it was Chris Reimer and Joel at the time. That's who got me into strongman.
Trudeau. Yeah.
Yeah. Trudell?
Trudeau.
Trudeau? Okay. I just hate Trudeau, but I like Michael. So he was doing those stone deadlifts that we did at Magnus.
Yeah.
I have those from Brent. I didn't buy them yet, but he let me use them here. And he went to go pull them from, I think, an 18-inch pick it was, or something like that, and he missed the lift. And he tells me, Devin, grab that Tylenol bottle. And he had this little Tylenol bottle, and he's like, when I tell you, just crack it open, rub it in front of my nose, or like whip from my nose, and then put it away. At this point, I had never heard about like PEDs. I had never heard about sniffing salts. I had never heard about nothing, because I was just in a small town gym with my small town mind.
Yeah.
And
With the bar
like,
you built.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bar I built. Yeah. It was just me and my cousins hanging out, reproducing. Somehow they came out straight eyes.
Yeah.
And then, so I whipped this thing in front of his nose and also went, like he just lifts this thing. On a lift, he just missed. And he locks it out, puts it down, and I'm like, what is in there? And if it's not cocaine, can I have some? Like, I'm like, yeah, I've never touched a drug, outside of performance ones.
Yeah.
I've never touched a drug in my life. So I was like, I'm not doing it, but I couldn't believe it. It was pretty crazy to watch.
Yeah.
For me, that was my first time being in a small town gym where I was the biggest lifter at like a 525-pound deadlift at the time. I was the biggest lifter in the gym.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I see 700. I'm like, those are unattainable numbers.
And that's early for 700 back then.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
That was
not a lot of guys were pulling that.
2009 or 2010, 2009, end of 2009.
Yeah.
I think or 2010 there, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was when Brent did his 765 rack pull. He had pictures in the barn always of. Yeah, and those numbers back then were, you didn't hear of those numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when I was competing in the late aughts, whether at 220 or 242, my like 630 to 650 would put me at first or second for deadlift.
It's crazy.
Because now that's nothing.
Yeah, now people are. Manitoba's last week was 685. It's supposed to 680, but it ended up being 685.
Yeah.
From a pick, but.
Yeah.
And we had 12 zeros,
Yeah.
I think, or 10 zeros, 12 zeros. It was crazy.
Yeah. But in powerlifting now, it's seven's almost a requirement, regardless of your weight class.
Yeah, even for the Masters guys already, aren't they? You're more into it the powerlifting side than I am, but.
Yeah, and I don't follow it like I used to. But I don't know if the Masters are still, but they're still in the sixes.
Yeah.
Like,
I always say I might make a run at strongman again when I turn 40. 4 more years maybe.
as strongman?
Yeah, like the passion's still there for me. I still love the sport. I deadlifted last Saturday for the first time since last Manitoba Strongest Men.
Yeah.
So I pulled a lift finally last Saturday. Deadlift Dreams is coming up. I'm like, I got to pull a ticket, I guess, because I didn't do Deadlift Dreams last year. Because after Manitoba, my back was so blown up, I didn't do nothing until literally I pulled Saturday.
You also took barbecue duties last year.
Yes, I did. I missed all the best deadlifts.
Yeah.
I missed all, like, Gord, Yori, all you guys going, did you lift?
I didn't lift.
Are you lifting this year?
No, I get too anxious.
Whoa, why don't you lift?
I literally just, my mind's like in a tizzy and I want to make sure everything runs perfect.
That's how I feel when I'm putting on a show. That's the same thing you're putting on Deadlift for Dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've thought about pulling a token and then I'm like, I can't pull a token.
You should pull a token with me. It'll make you feel better.
Maybe we'll do a 2-man.
Hey.
Because we have announcers this year. I announced the last 2.
You think the two of us could pull 1,000 pounds together?
We could try.
You think it's doable, Brett?
Probably same height, similar reach.
Yeah, I'm 5'10", you're 5'10 and a half, 5'11".
Yeah.
Similar reach, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do it.
Let's try it out.
Okay. I'll get an announcement on the Deadlift for Dreams Instagram.
You know, if we miss 1,000 pounds, we're never going to.
What?
You know, if we miss it, it's never going to get let down, eh?
That's okay. I have no more pride left.
Look at this face. There is 0 pride left on this thing.
Yeah.
You don't walk out looking like this and have pride.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah, that's actually, I'm going to pull a token. I pulled this weekend. Like I said, first time. I pulled a couple 200-pound deadlifts like the last couple weeks just trying to test my back. Like, just, do I still know how to do this type thing?
Yeah.
And what's my back and hold up to? I ended up working up to just over 500 for a triple on Saturday. And I'm like, okay, so I can still move 500 pounds. Because I think the day I can't do the 500 pounds is probably the day you find me hanging from the rafters.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always said 500 deadlift, or if I can't bench 315 or any of those like benchmark
315.
numbers.
I always thought once I got over 400, like you and I both have, I never wanted to let that go.
No, and I know I'm under that right now.
And what?
I'm under that right now.
I'm well under 400. I'm probably, if I had to guess, maybe 365.
That's I was just gonna say. I bet you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't care to maintain that, especially because I'm focused on losing weight.
Yeah.
But I can't go under 315.
Then we have to start using the DOTS program because we lost weight, so it still looks good, right? Yeah.
Then I'll care about my Wilks at that point.
Is it Wilks? DOTS? What do they use now?
I think IPF is Wilks, but I could be mistaken.
Yeah. I don't know.
We need a phone of Thrones.
Thrones use DOT, I think, at the system for the log press thing, but which was gay because you don't use DOTs in Strawman.
Yeah.
Take that, Thrones.
But the year I did bodybuilding, do you remember Colby?
Yeah, I remember of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys talked a lot about him. I'm sure I met him, but I couldn't put a face in him.
He was young and chippy at the time. and he'd always poke at me. He's like, "You're gonna go under 315. You're gonna go under 315." And I'm like, "I guarantee you one thing. I'll never go under 315. And if at any point during this journey you can outbench me, I'll quit. Even if it's the day before the show, I'll quit." And that was one thing that I kept up during my training and went outside of my programming.
What's bench?
Was just I hit that, and I can't ever lose that. Even when I was like, I got down to 178, and I could still hit it for.
You still hit it?
Like 5 or 6, yeah.
Not bad. What are you weighing now? You down under 210 yet?
212.
And you've been sitting there lately. Where'd you 212 last?
Kind of floating around 212 and 216, but weekend nachos. I'm just not giving that up.
Do you make your own or you go out?
I go out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't like making my own nachos. It's not the same.
No?
It's not the same experience.
Where do you go for nachos?
Big Guys.
Oh, right there, yeah.
Just down the street.
Because we usually do evening nachos. Now we're on this diet, but it was getting bad because we buy those La Coquina chips.
Yeah.
And you buy the red Dijon ones.
Yeah.
The red, I think the Dijon, or the red ones, they have a dust on there. It's amazing. Yeah. And then we get cheese from our colony, from the colony.
Yeah.
And man, I'll do half a pound to 3/4 pound of cheese on top of those nachos. The whole plate.
Do you layer them?
Yeah, I lay out some nachos. If Danielle makes it, she doesn't do the layering as much because maybe she wants me to live longer.
Yeah.
But I'll put some nachos layer.
Yeah.
And then
she's
she's at home making salsa right now actually. So we got homemade salsa enough for the whole winter always, and we'll go through a jar of salsa a night.
Nice.
And then she makes guacamole, and it was becoming a nightly thing. Then we wonder why we started putting on.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And I eat it, and then I go to bed. So I don't have to deal with the consequence of the amount of cheese I just ate till the morning.
Yeah. 100%.
I just roll the dice when I wake up in the morning. It's sheer seconds to get out of bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You got to fall asleep before the searing gut pains kick in.
It's very rare I wake up from it, but yeah. No, I'm a sucker for nachos.
Me too.
I'll go to the restaurants, but the restaurants never give you enough cheese.
No.
Never.
No. Can
I get extra cheese? Yeah. What do you get? A couple strands?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's stupid.
That's why I always go extra salsa, extra sour cream.
Oh, okay.
For all the naked chips.
Yep.
You're like, I need something on them.
No, I've never thought of that.
Yeah.
Wow, this will revolutionize when I get back to eating normal.
What are your nacho toppings?
When I go to the restaurants, usually just beef.
Yeah.
A lot of guys do chicken. I'll do it, but I'm not chicken. And jalapenos.
Beef's way better.
Yeah, beef's way better. Yeah.
And jalapenos are a must. I do no olives, no tomatoes, because I just refuse to eat either of those.
No olives?
No olives, no tomatoes.
I used to hate olives.
Yeah.
And I started eating Greek salads all the time. And I love olives.
See, Greek salad, I like to go extra feta, extra onions, no olives.
And then just give everybody kisses after that breath.
Everybody.
Makes
sense. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's... I used to hate olives. Then I went to a place called Johnny's in Maples. Great place for Greek salad. It's a chicken Greek salad. Johnny's Pizzas. It's right off of Inkster.
Okay.
Phenomenal pizza and like a nice little ma and pa type restaurant. And the owner was always there. And we were there probably twice a week for a couple of years when I wasn't an owner right over it. I was just a service manager, and we went there all the time. And but there was something with that salad. I don't know if it was the chicken, but it started like the first time I went there, I could make it back to the office before I hit the washroom. Then it was sort of questionable. And then by the end of when I stopped eating there for a bit, it was like I wouldn't make it out of the restaurant. So
you gotta be weary of food where you have to go to the bathroom that quick.
Yeah, it was
like a salad.
20 minutes, and it was only a chicken salad, Greek salad, and it was within 20 minutes. Then I got to the point where I couldn't even leave the restaurant, and I was, Now I'm like, okay, we got to stop eating this.
Yeah,
but it was amazing. Yeah.
Guilty pleasure of mine. There's a Greek food place in the St. Vital Mall food court.
Like
it's not Opa. It's it's like Johnny. Now I'm saying Johnny's because you said Johnny's. I can't remember what it is.
Does it say
it's
something souvlaki or something? Or?
Nope. It's whatever it is. But Greek salad with double Euro meat, and it's like the perfect lunch.
Man. Well, this week I got my apple. So I got my apple yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
It's my 15-year wedding anniversary yesterday. I know. Everyone's asking me, why would you even put up with this shit for 15 years? You know, when you marry down so far as I did, you're okay with it, right? Like, you're okay with mediocre, you know. So it's like, if I leave her, where's she going to go?
I mean, you're a good Samaritan that way.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I like to help the less fortunate and the needy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she's got kids. I don't want to just leave those kids, so it's kind of their dad or something. But anyways, it was our anniversary day. We got our apple. So I was feeling. So I
Put
ate that.
a candle in the apple.
Yeah, no, I should have. She got half an apple. I ate a whole apple. We each get half an apple. Like, no. I'm double the weight. I'm eating double the apples. And next week we get berries. I'm eating double the berries.
Yeah.
And I was trying to eat it around my workout, like halfway from my workout. Now Tom me this, so I ate it halfway from workout, and I got tired as hell. Is it the fact I haven't had carbs, sugars for 4 weeks? I ate that apple within 30 minutes, man. I was ready I was yawning. I went and worked out with my brother, and it was the hardest workout I've done in terms of I was yawning the whole workout.
You probably got like a quick spike.
Because I haven't had sugar
And then
and
you're
carbs
coming
in 4
back
weeks.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
Yeah.
I actually came back inside after the workout, sat on the couch, out.
Really?
For about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, I was out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe try it after
Yeah.
next time.
I just ate them on the way here now.
Yeah. So you can be yawning in
No.
the middle of the.
No yawning, guys. If I yawn, it'll be around my water bottle, acting like I'm drinking water.
Yeah. How's that going?
Good. I feel better. For people who don't listen to every episode, I'm doing no carbs, no sugar, no caffeine, no dairy. And it's like an 8 to 10 week protocol. I think I'm done around week 7 or 8 because once the carbs come back in, Danielle's doing it all for her reasons, but I'm doing it just for support. So I told her after the carbs.
She's trying to keep you.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
She needs to. She was getting chunky.
She's slipping.
Yeah, she was letting herself go a bit.
She's already a pretty big woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I can't fit her in one eye,
Yeah.
we gotta dial things
Yeah.
back. No, so
Have you ever done the dominant eye test? And I figured
No.
you'd know yours because you shoot guns.
No, I don't actually.
And I learned a putting trick the other day, and I was talking about it, and guys didn't know how to find their dominant eye. And then I thought about you doing it, and one eye would obviously be your dominant eye, but the way you do it, make like a diamond
Yep.
small enough just to see the camera. Like make it smaller.
Oh, yeah.
Now close your right eye. Can you still see the camera?
No.
Close your left eye.
Yeah.
Now I figured I would know your dominant eye for obvious reasons.
But that's because if I line up with my right eye, so now if I do it with my left eye and I go with my
But
right eye,
don't move it. Like look, both eyes open and look.
Oh, see, when both my eyes are open, I still only look at one eye.
Yeah, so I knew what your dominant eye would be.
I'd have to go cross-eyed.
But I laughed to myself, if you closed your right eye, you would see outside of your hand with your other eye.
Yeah.
But a little putting trick. When you line up over the ball,
Yeah.
put the ball under your dominant eye when you line up your putt.
And then you hit a lot straighter.
A lot, yeah.
Because I played the other day when I shot that 44 finally. Because I did 2 less. I went yesterday and learned how to pitch, which was kind of nice.
Yeah.
Properly, that cleaned some things up.
And you've been catching for years.
Oh,
so
years. Yeah, I'm
it's
always
nice
a
to be a
catcher.
pitcher for once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's less shitty.
Yeah. A lot less shitty. Well, different kind.
Different kind of shitty. Yeah. Different pitching wedge. Damn, I forgot where I was going with that.
You learned how to pitch.
Yes, I learned how to pitch yesterday, which is kind of nice because I sucked at it. But I played the other day and I would have shot damn near 40 for the first time in my life. Even 44 is the best I've shot.
Yeah.
But I 3-putted the last 2 holes, which is something I don't normally do.
Yeah.
And I think it was the fact that I knew I was getting almost 40, and I'm like, oh, I can get 41 at
the
least.
yips a little bit.
And, oh yeah, and you get like 8-foot putts, and I'm like whipping past the hole by 12 feet.
Yeah.
And then you just shy it up for the third one, just 3-putt in, knowing whatever, you're just trying to save something.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sucked.
It's funny. I find, and it totally makes sense. People see guys like you or I on the golf course, and I'm probably like big drives, no touch. But I put pressure on myself to hit these big drives, so I slice terribly.
Yep.
And it cost myself strokes. But when I get to my 8 and 9 iron and my wedges, I'm actually a lot better because I don't swing as hard.
Yep.
So I'm a lot more accurate. I don't top it. I don't scull it. I'm not saying I'm good compared to like guys that shoot in the 70s and 80s, but I'm a lot better with those compared to my longer irons. And
How often do you golf?
I mean,
You're like once a week, aren't you? Almost.
I got 1 or 2 rounds a week. 1 or 2 rounds a week.
You should go for a lesson.
I'm hoping to this winter.
Yeah, like I'm giving her a free plug, but I went to the Colwyn at Golf Deck. Turns out he's actually coaching a friend of mine that I coached for Pilot for 3 years, Troy, who just shot his first 71 2 weeks ago, coaching with him.
That's huge.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm the same. I try swinging and I try nailing that ball because I'm a big guy. I should be able to drive it. And my drives are like 220 yards.
Yeah.
And they always go to the right. like huge slice. I go off there the day after doing my first. I did a swing evaluation with him, which cleaned up a lot of my swing, and then I did 2 lessons now. And after swing evaluation, I hit a couple drives that were 200 yards and straight, and I've never hit that. Now Yari's going for a lesson with him now.
Is he?
Yeah, but Yari, we were golfing there. And Yari's every drive's over 300 and straight.
Yeah.
Like, he's actually a really good golfer.
And that takes so many strokes off.
Yeah. Where I'm putting, or I'm not putting. I'm out with a 5 iron. He's pitching.
Yeah.
Like, it's that much difference.
Even a bad pitch, you're in a better position than a good 5 iron.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's worth it. Well, there's a sale all of August for your swing evaluation for $120, but it was worth it. I was in there yesterday, and I rolled past, and I like my folk music, and I walked past the room, and I look at the guy, and I'm like, is that William Prince? I don't know if you know who William Prince is.
Yeah.
And I look, I'm like, and I go back to my coach, and I'm like, is that William Prince?
Playing or the actual guy?
No, he was William Prince. No, he's practically their coach.
Yeah.
He was getting lessons.
Nice.
And I roll past, I see him, and I roll back to call, and I'm like, is that William Prince? Like, yeah. Why? Who is that? I'm like, you guys don't know who William Prince is?
Yeah.
No, I'm like, he's a famous singer. I'm like, he's got one song on Spotify, has almost 9 million listens. Like, he was on Yellowstone. I think that's what gave him a lot of his access with Yellowstone.
Yeah.
So I roll past again. Yeah, it's him. So I go into my room, and I'm like, I'm not a fanboy type of guy, but I was like, no, I got to just go say hi. So I roll back in. I'm like, sorry to bother you. They're in their lesson. He was just sitting there looking at his stroke, whatever. And I'm like, just love your music. Just want to tell you, love what you're doing.
Yeah.
So he shakes my hand. I think it was the manager that was in there, if I'm correct. I could be wrong. But the guy, I could hear because I'm in there. He was like, well, now you got to tell me who you are. So I guess even the manager didn't know who this guy really was.
That's funny.
Yeah. And to me, I mean, it's just small town famous, right? But I just love his music. So
yeah,
it was pretty funny.
Yeah. And it's funny. That's a guy who's been plugging away at it for a long time.
Oh, yeah. It didn't just happen overnight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's almost like those powerlifters and strongmen that go into their first show with the mentality that they have to win.
Yeah.
Not appreciating that you got to plug away for a long time.
Yeah. Well, how many years of weightlifting did you do before you started competing in something? Well, you were in football, so different story.
Different story. But I mean, I had a good base of strength.
Yeah.
But it was kind of a different type of strength, and I had to really scale everything back to work on technique for powerlifting because it's completely different than training for an athlete. And I remember, I think it was like when I was playing college ball, I had like a 320, 330 bench, probably really sloppy.
Yeah.
And then I watched VHS tapes, Metal Militia, on how to bench and how to set up for bench.
Metal Militia had them?
Yeah, not like the Metal Militia as we know it today. There used
not
to be
the
like
T-shirt
a
brand.
powerlifting group. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
before my time, yeah.
Yeah, they worked on setup on these tapes, and I scaled back to 135, and for like 3 months just perfected my arch and transferring power and tucking my elbows and everything.
Yeah.
But you have to build that base so you can you just don't have to think about it anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just 3 months and 135, and people would, clients or whatever, guys that I train with would see me and not know what I'm doing, and like, why is he only doing that?
Yeah. Why is he making it look hard? Why is he going so slow?
And then you start building the weight back up, and you're like, I haven't even trained heavy, and it's like 350 now. And just by becoming more efficient with my movement and my strength. And then listening to Dave Tate talk about squat and just doing everything. And I mean, this is early, like in the information era.
Yeah.
Not everyone had an opinion on squat and this and that. So I just watch the same Dave Tate YouTube videos over and over again. And then just try to hammer everything that he said and have it down perfectly.
Was he one of the first guys out there that was doing the YouTube videos to get the information out there? Like, his big thing is always give back.
Yeah.
I don't know because I don't know the early or late 90s or 2000s lifting because I wasn't involved.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Westside put videos out then besides what they sold. Maybe they sold
yeah,
VHS steps.
It was a long time before you could get free Louis content.
Oh, okay, yeah. But Dave was probably putting out free content before, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Because that's what I think he built his Elite Fitness brand around.
Like the EFS stuff going back to 98, and just videos, and they're like crappy videos.
Yep.
Bad lighting, bad sound, no production, just Dave sitting on a box squat talking about what he's going to do. and then showing you how to do it, and then you just go and try to replicate it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that was back in the days, like I could email him and get a response within a day.
Oh shit, eh?
And I always I coach this now, and when I competed, I always stood by it, except for when I bombed in Worlds, because I undid everything that I knew was right and put undue pressure on myself. But with powerlifting, I emailed Dave, and I was just like, hey, I'm doing my first show. I know my maxes, but I don't know how to pick my numbers. And very like point form, I actually wouldn't be in this email, but he's like, open with something that you could triple on your worst day.
Yeah.
Then go for a 5-pound PR. Then try your 5-pound PR again, or go for broke. And I think I PR'd in every single event.
And you taught me that 12 years
did
ago.
I?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's exactly, I heard that from you.
Yeah.
And that's what I use actually for a lot of athletes when I pick their openers, because it's an emotional thing for some of these lifters. I have some female powerlifters, and they're like, I don't know what to go with. They start panicking. And I'm like, because the one girl I coach, she's up and down with her moods and everything. So I said, what's something you've hit on your low days? Like when we're having a low week, what is something like, mentally, what's a number you can hit? Well, I know I can hit that. So that's what we're opening with.
Just get on the board.
Yep. Get a number. I said, and then then we can start calculating. I said, this number we'll go with, and then so all the openers are set. Then we'll take the second numbers. Okay, now where are we in terms of provincial records? Are we close? And then we start playing around with that. Okay, well, this will get us close. And if we take this number, and then I do the math and the strategy from there.
Yeah.
But let's just get you a number that you're happy and you get the confidence, especially the first lift.
Yeah.
Because you miss that first lift and your confidence is zero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And hitting your first squat, and I was explaining this to one of the kids I coached in football last night. I always liked being on kickoff.
Yeah.
On football, because you do the opening kickoff and you get that first kind of hit, and it's like that releases all the pregame jitters.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And if you go in a powerlifting meet and you take an easy squat, but you're on the platform, the lights are there, the judges are there. I was always out of a monolift because I was in the APF.
Yep.
All the unusual surroundings. You hit that first one with the weight that you know you'll hit, and those jitters kind of release, and you're like, all right, I'm in the water. Now it's time to start swimming.
That makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Have you ever competed in IPF?
No.
So even Worlds wasn't was.
Worlds was CPU. So what happened that year was I qualified for nationals in the U.S.
Oh, okay.
As an APF, I qualified for nationals, and I emailed the head of the APF, and I was like, hey, I come down from Canada, and I compete in Grand Forks, Fargo, Minnesota, and can I enter this? And he was like, well, looking at your numbers, there's a chance you win, and we can't have a Canadian representing the U.S. So he emailed Bruce, and kind of on his recommendation, then Bruce emailed me and was like, if you want to come to Canadian Nationals, we'll give you a pass to come do that.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
And then you bombed.
No. I won Nationals.
Oh, you won Nationals. Okay.
Nationals was a funny story, but I won Nationals, and then I bombed at Worlds.
Yeah, and it was your bench you bombed on?
It was my squat.
Or your squat?
Yeah. But at Nationals, I'm used to being flight C or flight D in all my lifts.
Yeah.
And I was flight B at Nationals.
Oh, okay.
And I was pissed. And I completely overlooked the fact that I was competing in the 220s.
Yeah.
And flight C was the 242s, and flight D was the super heavies.
It was 275.
275 and up.
Yeah.
But I was like offended that I was in flight B. I'm like, I'm not a flight B guy. So I set my sights on all the 242s.
Yeah.
And all day, I didn't even track anyone in my weight class. All day I was tracking the 242s.
Trying to beat him.
And I was so focused on it, I kind of forgot that wasn't my weight class.
Yeah.
And when the final numbers were up, I would have been third in the 242s. And I didn't even realize that I won the 220s.
Because you didn't give a shit.
Because I didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
And when I was getting my medal at the end, like sulking, basically, in the picture.
First place and pissed.
First place and just annoyed with myself. And then I was like, well, these are the best lifters
in the country.
in the country.
Yeah.
And I would have finished third in a weight class that's 22 pounds heavier than me.
And not only 20 pounds. Those guys also cut from 260 or 270 to get to 242.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was kind of a funny experience that, the petty side of Strong and Petty.
Yeah. Well,
where I was like, oh, beef light for me? Get out here.
People
They don't know who I am.
People always laugh. What's the point of Strong and Petty? Anyway, the one guy on YouTube, they're trash. It's a knockoff of, Ober Strong and Pretty shirt or something like that. And and when I thought of Strong and Petty and put it on the page, hey, we should start the podcast with this name.
Yeah.
Was your idea to start a podcast, and I found the name. It's literally sums the three of us up.
Yeah.
Like Strong and very petty in a lot of situations.
Totally. Yeah.
Like it's perfect for us.
Yeah. And I mean, you can be petty without overtly being an asshole.
Yeah.
You can have a quiet drive and just stick it to people without saying anything.
Yeah.
And you and I have had many conversations that'll never leave.
No.
You and I, but definitely some pettiness. And then there's people like Tyler that'll just give it to you like it is.
Yeah.
Regardless of what he thinks of you. And he might be the only strong one in the group left. But.
Yeah. I get a lot of the politics side of things with the competitors because they're not going to message Tyler lots of times. That a lot of the stuff gets directed towards me.
Yeah.
And the drama between gyms, if there is any, I always say there's none of the drama, but there is always a little bit. I don't tell anybody that shit. It stays with me because if I spread it and if I tell Tyler, or I tell anybody, I just use Tyler's example because he's with us, but
yeah.
I need strongman corp reps. There's certain things I have to tell him as SEC reps. I have to share with him.
Yeah.
But I won't share none of the bullshit or the rumors or the trash talk about, this person with that gym or his gym or this, because it's just, then I'm just fueling the divisiveness in the sport. Then I'm causing the division.
Yeah.
So I just keep inside, but some days, and I've called you and sort of vented you because you're outside the sport, and I'm just like, some days I need to tell someone.
You just got to get it off your chest.
Yeah, telling my wife isn't enough. Like, because she always gives me the wife perspective of, it's okay, like, you can handle, you're doing great. Like, I don't need that. I need someone to be like, yeah, fuck those guys.
To continue.
The same way I'm feeling.
Throw a little fuel on your fire.
Like, help me release this anger, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's fun. But what we should touch on this episode we talked about is Manitoba Strongest Men.
Yeah.
You had some circumstances you hadn't able to come, but we were, I should go over the show because it's that was a plan to talk about, and guys are tuning in to hear that.
Yeah.
So I'll explain it from the promotion side how it went, and the athlete side too. But from the feedback I got, everyone said the show ran well.
Quick?
Yeah. I thought it ran long, but I checked the live stream. We did it in 3 hours and 45 minutes.
That's a fast show.
27 competitors, 3 max effort events. So we did the max deadlift, max weight yoke, like with drop, with 15-second reload times too. Like, that's a long event actually.
Yeah.
And the medleys, it was a heavy show.
Yeah.
What sucked, so Grunthall's great. They brought us back. This is the fourth official I've put on there now.
Mm-hmm.
They increased the money last year and this year, which was nice, which helped us give more prize money out.
Yeah.
The downside to it was they have a community church service. All the churches get together.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a small community, and they have a big church service. There's probably well over 1,000 people there, if not more. All set up on the main stage, which is where our comp gets put on the concrete pad in front of they actually poured that concrete pad just for us. They use it for other things, but that's what their main reason behind it was. We get there at 11:30. I show up at 10 after 11, quarter after 11. I like to be there early before, just get, the church is happening, but I can sort of just scope out what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Man, people didn't get off that concrete pad till quarter after 12. We were supposed to start the show at 12:30.
Yeah.
I told everybody 1. I even told the fair that. They put 12:30. I'm like, I'm not touching for 1. I still wasn't ready at 1.
Yeah.
Like, we had 45 minutes. It took me 40 minutes to load just the weight equipment into the trailer that morning after all the equipment was loaded.
Yeah.
We had a bunch of helpers, so we loaded the show out. We got going, and we had to get heights for 3 implements, which is unheard of an event. Usually you have 1 implement. We had to get Conan's wheel heights, Viking press heights, and yoke heights. 27 competitors, 3 heights of each, and adjusting everybody. So that took forever. So we ended up starting about quarter after 1, which was late. And then I'm pissed off. I don't like starting late. But it went, I felt I couldn't catch my feet all day, if that makes sense.
I get it.
I felt behind all day. My helpers are phenomenal. I think I yelled at a couple of them, but they're all close friends of mine. So then they yelled at us, and I just was very blunt. But
you guys always have great helpers.
Yeah, my helpers are second to none.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, Dean's been a really good, Denim Dean. I should post a picture of Denim Dean. I think yesterday was a 1-year anniversary. Comes in my office. I think it was yesterday, day before. You know what today is? I'm like, no. 1-year anniversary or 2-year anniversary of Denim Dean. So I don't know if you've ever seen that pic.
I don't think so.
So there's a wedding he was at, go off topic, and he was in full denim, like denim.
Amazing.
I think it was maybe denim coveralls and denim like pants, and just with his mullet, you know, and the receding hairline, and he's laying in front of a
Devin's
fire.
really picking on hairlines today. Jeez.
I thought I muted the whole episode.
Yeah.
And he's laying in front of a fire, like posed like a stripper. And someone put a picture of it. And he's got buddies who have put this thing on a canvas and have it hanging above their beds.
I love that.
Like, it's hilarious. So anyways, he's helped out and he's great. And he loves it, but he's out of shape. So he's hurting the next day. He comes to work, but he works for me too.
Yeah.
And you could just tell he's hurting. He's sore. But Brian is my best volunteer by far, and he's competing next year. So I lose my best guy. Janaea, my wife, she gets no credit because she does all the scorekeeping, and she just gets the brunt end of it all, but she runs the whole backside. But
well, emceeing Morris, I saw how much she was running around.
yeah, it's nuts. I never give her enough credit.
Yeah.
Like the scores, dealing with the competitors, she deals with all that shit. The heights, the competitors, the sign-ins, the waivers, the shirts, and I'm just setting up the equipment, and I get all the praise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's really not fair because I couldn't do that shit.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we set up where we're going with that. It was going well. Just going well. Too many zeros in my opinion, but it is what it is. We wanted a heavy show, and a lot of our competitors in Manitoba are weight class athletes.
Yeah.
And a bunch of the heavy guys didn't show up. Corey's injured after dropping a 275-pound axle and splitting his leg, so he emceed.
Okay.
Because he's still 6 weeks from even like lifting anything.
Yeah.
He still can't even bend his leg.
Jeez.
He's just hobbling. So he was out. Travis Clausen's another one of our, well, he's 275, so he's just in that category, but he didn't show up. Chris Blakely
Just no-showed?
Yeah, he didn't even sign up.
Okay.
Chris Blakely, Travis has some personal stuff going on. Blakely tore his hamstring, I think. So he's been out since Alberta.
Jeez.
He should have been at Nationals this year and placed really well. He's got Big Laws coaching him.
Who?
Big Laws, Strowman. He's one of the world's strongest men.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been to finals stuff. Yeah, he's phenomenal. He has a podcast too, actually, a really good one.
Okay.
About strongman. So he wasn't there. So three of the top, I would say 6 to 8 guys in the province were there, and Pat pulled out. And Patrick, I mean, he's not an open weight guy. He's a 231, but he placed second or third at Morris, right behind Tyler.
Yeah.
And he placed fifth at Magnus. So he would have been podium. There's no doubt about it. He would have been podium.
Yeah.
His elbow was all bursitis with fluid.
Yeah.
He couldn't do nothing.
Yeah.
So we're down a bunch of our biggest athletes. And I love the small guys that came out.
Yeah.
Like they did great, but the events, even the pressing medley, the lightest implement was like 270 pounds. They just took zeros. A lot of them.
Yeah.
I would say I'll get to before I'm done this question. Just ask what the most impressive lift was because I'll forget that train of thought because my head.
Can you write that down because I'll probably forget.
Most
impressive lift.
Most impressive
MSM.
lift. Yeah, because I got to give that guy credit for who. Yeah, we'll get it at the end. But yeah, the show ran well. I felt I couldn't catch my feet, so I was a little mad after the show. I had a couple athletes competing, Lexi and Mara and Lane.
Lexi's first strongman show?
Second, she did her first one with like a week's notice. I got convinced her to do it.
Okay.
And that was only provincials. No, she did. Oh no, this would have been her third.
Okay.
Third in a matter of a month. So she did. She did July 1st. Then she did provincials, and then this. So in 6 weeks, she did 3 for a girl who's never touched it. And we were also prepping for Westerns, so we weren't focused on strongman whatsoever.
Yeah.
But then we canceled Westerns out the week of. She's dealing with some knee problems, and she's like, "My heart's not in. I don't even want to go." I'm like, then just. Are we going to nationals for powerlifting this year? No. She's like, I want nationals for strongman. Then forget Westerns. Let's transition over, hit provincials, and hit the Grunthal show. So I had 3 athletes competing.
If you're listening to this, you should DM her and tell her what a great job she's doing.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, definitely blow up her DMs.
All over her DMs.
She did. Yeah. At Lexi Runky Lifts. You know what I like about her Instagram is she's a good-looking girl.
Yeah.
But she will post videos with, like, her hair doesn't matter what her hair looks like, what her makeup looks like, what she's wearing, doesn't give a shit how she looks, and posts the most like, just her videos ever where people are like, well, you didn't doll yourself up. Like, Instagram's all about filters, and no, she'll post the most, like, make herself look almost trailer trash, and it doesn't give a shit what people think.
Yeah.
So I give her props for that. But anyways, I had 3 athletes competing, and there were a ton of Iron Age guys competing. the thing that bothered me, but not that it was anybody's fault, but what bothered me is because I was behind the 8 ball setting up, I didn't even get a breather between events because I was still setting up between events.
Yeah.
I didn't sit down. I didn't really help any of my athletes the whole day. And that bothered me as a coach.
Yeah.
Because like Mara got third and Kelsey won. She did a great job. And Anastasia got second. Lexi did well. She's still only 140 pounds, right?
Yeah.
But with lane and stuff, I felt, because I'm really big on strategy with comps. Like, okay, we're going to give effort here because we can gain points here, and you're just going to dog this one because you're not getting it anyways. Let's save energy.
Yeah.
And I couldn't give, especially Lexi being new to the sport, I couldn't give her any of that insight that she's paying me for.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't even stop between events. I didn't even sit down.
Yeah.
So I was a little mad at myself after. I had a bit of a meltdown Monday morning on text message to Gordon Johnson. I had a bit of a full-on freak out.
Was it Monday that I called you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had a meltdown
Terrible
on the phone
mood.
with you. Yeah.
Terrible mood.
Yeah. I had that meltdown. And I had a meltdown. I sent Mara a message and apologized, and that I wasn't able to help her like I should have been as a coach. She's like, well, you're putting on the whole show.
Yeah.
So I was a little mad at myself because I'm a guy I want to take everything and do it all myself.
Yeah.
That's just how I am.
Yeah.
So I was a little upset with myself that I couldn't help my athletes strategize and possibly improve their placings, but they understood, but it's whatever. Yeah. But anyway, show ran well. Tyler won. Dan pulled, Dan got second. Who got third? I think Nate Pauls got fourth. Yeah, there was a bit of a mix-up. I had, so Tyler had told the guys in the back that they could grab the bar on Atlas Stones.
Yeah.
Which we've never allowed at SCC comps. Now, this wasn't SCC comp, but I ran all SCC comps all summer. So I've got their regulations in my head. I wasn't in the athletes meeting.
Yep.
So he told them all they can grab the bar. They get up to the oak, and I'm like, no, you can't grab the bar. We've never allowed it, and I'm not about to start now. I will later because I actually like that rule because it gives the small guys a better advantage over the big guys because they can actually grab it and push it over. So
That's the problem I always had, and probably you as well.
Yeah, and I think it should be in there. But so I made one guy do a re-rep on that, and not knowing that Tyler had told these guys that.
Yeah.
So I apologize, competitors. It is what it is. After the first person did that, I'm like, and I yelled, I'm like, there's no grabbing the bar. So the girls had miscounted a rep. They thought I gave somebody a 0 on the rep because he grabbed the bar. So what he did is he went to go lift the stone. He hit the bar. He grabbed the bar. The stone hit the bar. He grabbed the bar to pull it over. I said, do not grab the bar. He let go of the bar. It's on the live stream, so you can validate what I'm saying. The stone came back off the bar, like slid down off the bar, and he re-pushed it over, and I let him get the rep.
Yeah.
Because he didn't use the bar to get over. He did grab the bar, but because of the mix-up in rules, I was giving people a little bit of grace. They would touch the bar up, said, no, don't touch the bar. I was giving everybody the same grace.
Yeah.
But Jocelyn Danielle thought I gave him a 0 because he literally got the stone over and walked away.
Yeah.
But he told me, he's like, I'm good. That's all I want is 1 rep.
Yeah.
The girls thought I gave him a no rep, and that's why he walked away.
What was the stone?
305 or 345.
Okay.
So
lightweight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next day, 305 stone light. So the next day, his name was Julian. He messaged me and said, hey, you gave me a 0 on the stone and I got 1 rep. Was there a reason? And he wasn't an asshole, but he's like, was there a reason you took my rep? Like, I just want to know what I did wrong.
Yeah.
Fuck, so luckily we have the live stream.
Yeah.
So I pulled the live stream, went back to the exact spot. I'm sitting in the office trying to do all the invites for nationals and shit and go through. I'm like, yeah, no, I remember that clearly now. So I redid the scores, which then pushed. So we had Thrones got 5th, Chris Godin got 6th, and they got $100 and $50 gift cards from SBD, which is awesome. We had a bunch of great sponsors. Well, that 1 rep on the stone, because of how many people zeroed in so many events, that pushed him from 9th place to 5th place.
Yeah.
1 rep.
Yeah.
Which then pushed Thrones out of 5th and Godin out of 6th, which now we've paid out this prize money to the wrong people. And these people are like, so Thrones immediately sent him his gift card.
Of course.
And I'm like, no. I called Tyler. I'm like, no, this is our screw up as promoters. They can keep their gift cards and we will pay Julian out of our account. That's the only way to do it.
Yeah.
Nope. The guys in the Manitoba, like Chris Godin, those guys, I couldn't even put it out there that we will pay, and they already sent their gift cards.
I love that so much.
And I'm like, okay, because I would have just paid it.
Yeah.
Because it was our screw up.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit there, but now going to the best lift of the day. So there's a guy named Ian Clausen. He showed up to our novice show last year. You wouldn't think this guy's gonna win. You look at him, man. He looks like a hipster folk type of dude. He looks like a guy who listens to William Prince and Richard Inman, like I do.
Yeah.
But he's got the hair. He's got the mustache. He trains in Narraville by himself, from what I understand. He showed, and I actually
Who is he?
Ian Clausen. Chris Clausen is his name on Instagram. KRIS. He came to my gym for like my conditioning class with the CMC youth group back in the day. And that's how I met him back then. Also, he showed up for my novice show to do the comp, the novice comp. I don't even know if he'd ever touched an implement. And he won the novice show. and the kid's like 100 and I don't know, maybe there's no way he's over 200 pounds, maybe 200 pounds. Shows up, wins the show. He competed last year. He came to Manitoba's last year, just showed up, and he actually did surprisingly well. So he shows up again this year, stronger than last year, but he's still not a big dude. And we had like a bunch of guys, the big guys, taking zeros on the 305 stone. I don't know if it was just taxing at the end of the day or whatever it was, but they were taking zeros on the 305 stone. So I don't know if you've seen the way did you watch the live stream or you see it all?
No.
So the way we did the back stone, we had the stoner bars, 2 guys go, and passing it back and forth there, and you had 15 seconds to get your next rep. I sometimes let that go on their first rep. I'd give them like 25 seconds because sometimes you can't find your grip on your first rep. You're trying to figure out the stone.
Yeah.
So you go back and forth, and as soon as this guy fails, the next guy's already standing here. He rolls in.
Yeah.
And then goes. So Ian would pass it over. This guy would fail. So Ian would get a little extra rest because this guy would roll in. You had to set up and go, right?
Yeah.
He was like the first or second guy in on the 305 stone out of probably 12 people. He was there the whole time.
Jeez.
He never left. So many guys took zeros way bigger than him. Guys like 280 pounds were taking zeros in 305 stone. And I don't know if you've seen his picture. But
I couldn't find it.
I'll show it to you. He's not a big dude. He lapped that stone over, and the next guy would go one, and he would throw it back immediately. And he actually was the guy who had took away rep because he grabbed the bar.
Okay.
So he dropped it after taking rep, and then redid it again. And he went through the whole 305-pound stone by himself.
That's awesome.
Then the 345-pound guys went, and then he came out after and grabbed the 345 stone, and he had it almost over the bar. If he could have grabbed the bar, he would have had it.
Yeah. That's great.
That was the best lift. Him and Lexi's deadlift on the wagon wheels is on Instagram, and she's bent over like a banana.
Yeah.
Oh, she's pulling.
Just the cat taking a shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She failed the first lift. Like she got the first 2 steps and went for the third, I think it was, and she failed and regripped. So I'm like, and I'm just thinking, just shut it down, save your energy. Nope. Yeah. She pulled, got the full hitch going. Like forget the top powerlifting standards here. Was just, I would say, bent over like an old hooker. Like it's, yeah, it was hilarious to watch. So yeah, I'd say that was the most impressive thing for me of the show. Competitors loved it. Crowd was actually shit.
Oh,
from our shows, we're usually
didn't see it going that way.
Yeah, it was
numbers or
the crowd. People were awesome.
Okay.
Numbers were way down from the last 2 years. But from what I hear, the whole fair was down as a whole. So they have the fair spread over 4 days: Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and they had like bull riding Thursday, Friday. Demolition Derby Saturday, arm wrestling Saturday, and then we were the only show Sunday. The church service, and then there's us.
Okay.
And I have some friends. It's where I grew up, and they did the calculation for their families. And it would have been like a $600 weekend for them and their kids and their families to go to the fair all weekend. So lots of people only picked 2 days to go.
Oh, okay.
And they chose bull riding and demolition derby and that stuff instead of Strongman, which makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think the fair is gonna, because they weren't happy at the numbers. You're like, man, like we're really down. Saturday was half attendance and Sunday was really bad. So I think they have to figure out. They're going to have to shuffle some around. I would say condense it in 3 days and put us back on the Saturday. Yeah. Instead of the Sunday.
A Sunday Strongman show just seems odd.
It sucks for us.
It's a Saturday thing.
Yeah, it sucks for us to set up. Because I got home at 5:30 or 6, and now I have to, because I emptied every plate out of my gym. Yeah. Because of the amount of max effort shit we had going on. Yeah. I had to unload all the weights in the trailer, me and Danielle. Luckily, this kid at my gym, his name is Sam.
It's not anymore.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, yeah. Now he's Samuel because he's so strong.
Samson. Only you and I get that.
Well, I say that because I literally going on a rabbit trail here. I've been waking up at 5 in the morning, about 10 after 5, and I've been going in my hot tub. And I got my cold tub set up there, and I'm trying to get into some contract stuff. It really helps my pain. But what I don't do enough of is devotions or reading the Bible. I really need to do more of that because I think it helps me overall. So I've been getting up and I've been going in the hot tub for the last 2 weeks, every morning at 5, and I do a devotion, which I've never done. Like I try to do a devotion to my kids here and there, but I really suck at being a good Christian dad. I really do. Yeah. So I'm trying to fix that. Hopefully it's not too late. And the devotion I did was a whole week on Samson.
That's funny.
So it was funny because I literally finished that 2 or 3 days ago.
Yeah.
And now I'm doing a devotion on watch your mouth, like you're swearing.
Oh, yeah.
Which I'm clearly still struggling with.
That's a tough one.
But I'm doing it every morning. It's the whole devotions on literally what comes out of your mouth. So, yeah.
I might curse the least out of both podcasts.
Yeah.
This one and Whiskey Tango. And there's days where I'm like, I really need to watch what comes out of my mouth.
No, I agree. Yeah. Not what comes out of yours, but I feel the same.
Yeah. And like coaching these 12-year-olds now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you start talking, and when I get passionate about something, my sensor falls off.
Yep.
and I get into like full coach mode, and I'm just like, stop myself.
Because you hear it almost before it comes out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Because you're so worried about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it really makes you aware of how frequently you throw, and they're empty words, and how frequently we throw them out and whatnot. And work in progress.
Yeah. Yeah, I struggle with it for sure. It's what I'd say as a Christian dude or trying to be, that's my biggest struggle by far is my language. And I've said that my kids will tell me that too. My daughters will tell me, Dad, watch your mouth. And I'm like, I want to slap the shit out of you for telling me that. Because A, you're right. Yeah. And 2, it pisses me off that you're right.
Yeah.
When your 11-year-old comes home and tells that, or 10-year-old, right?
Yeah.
Like, and actually we had one friend of my daughter's whose parents wouldn't let her come over to our house because I swore.
Really?
I don't know if they've heard the podcast or if they've seen an Instagram video with me or something. But they're like, my kids will not go to a house with language like that. And I'm first I was like, screw them, like, whatever, like they don't know who I am or yada yada. And then it really bothered me, like I'm literally costing my daughter a friend because of my actions.
Yeah.
So that really bothered me. That was only a couple months ago, and I'm like, man, luckily these people are weirdos anyways.
Yeah.
There's no way they're listening to our podcast.
So if you're listening, it's not the swearing; it's that you're a weirdo.
Yeah. But yeah, that kind of bothered me a bit. That because my daughter is pretty hurt, and there's no one to blame but me. And I give that parent props because she actually texts me out. It's like, your husband or you talk this way, and my kids will not be in a house that they talk that way. And I'm like, well, good for that mom for standing up for her own morals and being blunt, because most parents will just like ignore the phone call. Yeah. And just not let their kid go and just ignore you.
Not communicate.
This one actually just bluntly told me, which is the way I am with everybody. So I'm like, well, that's karma coming at me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it is funny. So yeah, we got back to the gym. Sam, he's just a kid from Winnipeg working at the park for the week or for the summer, but he does not want to move back to Winnipeg. He's got 1 year left of high school, and he's like, he trains in the city, and he's like, your gym is just the vibe, the feeling I get. He's like, it's just so welcoming in terms of the intention we have. He's like, I don't want to go back to Winnipeg.
Yeah.
And then my buddy's dad, who's 70-some years old, is there. And he just rolls in 145 each hand. He helps unload the whole trailer.
Yeah.
Like, so the whole trailer waits. We left all the equipment in, but yeah, so that was, that's the hard part to put in the shoals is loading and unloading that trailer. It's actually a lot of freaking work.
It's such a pain in the butt, man.
Yeah, it's gross.
Even like loading and unloading and being a helper at a show. When McDowell and Wade did Westerns, I think it was in Edmonton one year. I'd go to all their shows, and McDowell, Wade, Demi, you just want to be there for your guys.
Yeah.
But because the Provics and the Cummines and the Nate Rolstons and that know you get into helping them.
Yep.
And you go out east and Kyle and Dallas and Paul V, and they know you, and you get helping them, and then these shows are just like, well, help out.
Yeah.
And you're like, if I knew this, I would have just competed.
Exactly.
It's way less work to compete.
It's harder helping than it is competing.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And I think of that all the time with Deadlifts for Dreams.
Yeah.
Like Gagandeep and Nikki always offer to load plates and help, and I'm like, God bless you, because I wouldn't. Well, I wouldn't even have my own show.
Well, so Pat didn't compete, but he showed up, and I'm like, and I did the same to him. He showed up to watch. I'm like, oh, you're here to help? Well, I guess so. So he's not pressed, but he can still hold everything down here.
Yeah.
He shows up to the gym Monday, and he's like, I will never do that again.
No,
he's
man.
like, I would rather compete than do that shit.
Your
He's
hands
like,
hurt, your
I am more
forearms
exhausted than I was competing, than I would competing.
Yeah. It's terrible, but you need those people, and the ones that do it are so valuable.
Oh.
Same with powerlifting meets.
Yeah.
You see, like, judges take a break. There's backup head judges.
Yeah.
And, you have like 8 to 10 loaders and spotters because you need a break.
Yeah.
Like, it is so much work. If you have 4 flights in a powerlifting meet, and call it 8 people per flight.
Yeah, I was gonna say 10 for number's sake, but yeah. 3 attempts each.
3 attempts each.
So that's
like
9
your
attempts,
90 squats.
times 4 flights.
Yeah.
That's 360 times you're moving plates.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Yeah, like and lots of that is pulling 45s that don't have a handle.
Yeah.
And they don't have a lip. They're not York plates.
Lip. Yeah.
There's no lip. It's all grip strength.
What I should do is start a fat loss boot camp, and all they do for the boot camp
is volunteer
at powerlifting and strongman. They would burn so many calories, Plus, it's intermittent fasting because you go about 9 hours. Except your shows that run so fast, but that's still 4 hours.
Well, we got Nassau's coming. I was talking to them today. We're doing the floor plan for Nassau's right now with Simone. Props to Simone. If you don't know who he is, Simone Goliath, I think. He's trying to lose 100 pounds in 365 days. He's doing a video log of it. Every day he's on day 17. He's down to like 16 pounds.
Good for him.
So give him props. Just check him out. I'm sure he's trying to build a following for doing it.
Yeah.
But we're doing the floor plan for that. And I'm trying to calculate because I'm very, Tyler's good at the promotion side, and I'm very about the weights. Like I've already got some of the implements broken right down already on how many plates we need on each implement. I'm trying to break down every implement, and I have it all on a Google Notes sheet, and I'm giving it to every helper gets put on the Google Notes or Keep Notes, and they have access to them. There's no screw ups at Nationals. Everybody has access to what plates go on each side of this implement. I'm trying to make it foolproof.
Yeah.
And we're going to run 4 lanes. But that's a show too. I'm kind of nervous. Like I run fast shows. I'm known for running. I'm known for being fast.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that. Except for running, because I lost that running race and hurt my Achilles tendon. I still can't walk properly, man. My heel is cooked. It's been 5 weeks since I did that stupid running race and lost. But anyways, I'm trying to do the nationally and make it as efficient as possible. I want to run that show like 5 to 6 hours max, but we're gonna have to run 4 lanes at 30 to 40 people a lane with some max effort events, and I have to run it that fast.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're around that weekend. I want to help. What are you laughing at? You too. I am looking for volunteers.
I just want to point. I think I figured out why Devin was picking on hairlines. It was that poll on Spotify.
Oh yeah. So where was this poll on Spotify? And I missed it all. And I listened to Spotify.
I missed it too. How do you do a poll on Spotify?
Every time you post a video or post an episode, you can put a poll that goes with it.
You did that.
I did that.
So I don't know if anybody. Well, so 10 people voted. 8 or 10 people voted.
10,
and the question was, oh man, here I'm gonna pull it up because I was almost offended, and I scrolled right past the message on our podcast page here, and I didn't catch it till like.
It's hard sometimes with you and I taking turns running the page.
Yes, yes. So the poll was, what do you want to hear our host talk about? Training, history of strength sports, strongman events, or Devin's micropenis? So one person voted for training, one person voted for strongman events, and the rest voted for Devin's micropenis. I'm like, you piece of shit. And he posted this on our group chat, and I missed it. I didn't even see the post. I started scrolling back in our chat looking for an old message. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
So whoever voted for Devin's micropenis, DM me. I'll send you photos.
It's a short story with an abrupt ending.
Yeah. I keep telling people, I won't hit the bottom of the tuna can. I'm not going to hit the sides either.
Yeah. I think my favorite self-depreciating penis joke is from Trent Monk, and I've stole it and used it since. He goes, well, it may not be long, but she sure is skinny.
And I've heard you say that.
Yeah. That's all Trent Monk.
Oh, shit. So, yeah, that sums up, I guess, Matt to a strongest man. And I think we're getting ready to wrap it up here anyways.
So let's wrap it up with something that's been heavy on my mind the last few days, and I think we'll have to post a poll. Making a grilled cheese sandwich. Cheese slices or real cheese?
Oh, man. See, I grew up with the cheese slices because we didn't have.
We were 80s kids, though.
Well, and we grew up poor as shit, so processed cheese slice was cheaper than cheese.
Yeah.
So we got what we got. I don't know. Have you ever had one with real cheese?
That's the only way I'll make one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What, mild, medium, or mild or medium?
I'm a medium guy.
Yeah, mild doesn't. I used to only be mild, but there's not enough flavor in it.
Yeah.
And now I don't know if I ever talked about this, but now I'm into like the old cheddar. Like I'm talking 10 to 12-year-old cheddars that just crumbles in your hand. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting.
That's
into.
too much for me. That's too strong.
Is it? I'll just do little bits, and I love it.
I've shockingly found out that I'm the gross minority.
Okay, so comment on our YouTube video this week, guys. Maybe we'll put a poll on Spotify as well but comment on our YouTube. For one, it helps us share it with your friends and everything else and get us. The more traction we get, the more interaction we get, the better it is. But what is better, processed or real cheese?
Yeah.
And don't be that weirdo that goes and says mozzarella. All right, no one has time for that in this world.
Yeah.
All right, don't be that freaking weirdo. In a world full of weirdos already, don't be that one.
Don't try to be different and interesting.
Yeah, no one's gonna go woke on grilled cheese sandwiches. I'll tell you that much.
Shocked. And my logic for this was,
That might be just a money thing.
well, now, I mean, I'm not living out of my
No.
parents' fridge anymore, and how many grilled cheese sandwiches do I have in a year? 1 or 2? So
But
if I
they're
want
amazing
one,
when you have them.
and if I want one, I want to make the best one.
Yeah.
Right? And it's the same way if I'm getting a burger, I'm not going for fast food. I'll go out of my way to go like a Daily Burger, Mrs. Mike's,
Five Guys.
Five Guys,
Yeah.
something like that, or make my own because I want it the way I want it, and I want it better.
And you want real non-processed food.
Yeah. But the same thing like you guys said, we grew up on that.
What did you eat?
slices.
What did you eat with your grilled cheese growing up?
We probably just had the sandwich or chicken noodle soup.
So we had, it was grilled cheese and tomato soup.
I think tomato
Same as
soup.
you?
Yes.
Yeah, grilled cheese, tomato soup.
I think
grew
tomato
up on.
soup's like the go-to with it.
Yeah,
But I was never a tomato guy.
and then it was
So I would have like chicken noodle.
tuna sandwiches with chicken noodle soup.
Yeah.
And then we would dip our sandwiches.
Same childhood.
Yeah. Are you Mennonite? And we'd dip our tuna sandwiches in the homemade chicken noodle soup. So every time Mom would make a roast of chicken, we knew we were getting soup.
Yeah.
Because you'd eat whatever the chicken, and then everything left in the chicken would go into soup for the next
Yeah.
day. And then
Yeah.
we're pumped because now we have chicken noodle soup. So it was
Yeah.
you always knew what you were getting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
But-
funny though, the tomato soup.
Oh yeah. And
Yeah.
you dip it. You
Yeah,
dip it in the
'cause
soup.
I haven't had that since I was a
Yeah.
kid. I haven't had it as an adult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think next year, we've already established this year for Deadlift for Dreams, but next year, just grilled cheese sandwiches and tomato soup.
Dude, that would be unreal.
How funny would that be?
With real
Bring
cheese.
a flat iron out.
With real cheese.
You can 2 options.
I have a grilled cheese maker.
Perfect.
Yeah, like an iron.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll make some special ones in the barbecue.
Yeah.
Have you
That'd
ever
be
you
fantastic.
ever had crackles?
Crackles. Sounds familiar.
You ever had crackles?
Don't know what that is though.
Oh man, you can feel your heart slow down when you eat it. So it's like when you butcher a pig, it's pretty much like bacon crumbles in a sense.
Okay.
And it's in a bucket. It's called crackles. You can buy it at like Pioneer, something makes it here. You can find it like in Steinbach and Grunthal, and I don't know if I'm sure you can find the city possibly.
Probably Miller's or something.
Yeah, they might have it. And you open up, it's just like little meat pieces in lard.
Mm.
Like the whole thing. And you just take a scoop out, you fry it up, and it just like floats in its own fat. So
Yeah.
I drain that. I put it through a strainer. I have a screen strainer. I use a metal one.
Yeah.
Press it through, then put it back in the pan, recook it, and then you eat that on bread. Just white bread, with or without butter. You salt the shit out of it. You put a lot of salt in there,
Yeah.
and you just put it on bread, and you just eat it that way. And they make it at I think Jay's Cafe in MJ's Cafe in Steinbach, right by the airport there. They make it there.
Okay.
You can order it there. And I buy jugs of it or buy tubs of it, and I make it once a month. Like this weekend I'm at the cabin, and I can't eat pork right now on this diet.
Yeah.
But that's usually something I pull at the cabin. Danielle doesn't eat it with me. I don't even my kids eat it. It's that I do that, and then I also eat raw farmer sausage.
I don't like
With-
any type
with
of
vin-
farmer
with vinegar.
sausage. Oh, my dad,
Do you do that?
vinegar, onion slices,
Yeah,
and farmer sausage in it.
yeah.
And then he just sits on the couch with a toothpick and just like, that's like a whole meal for my
And
old man.
did he cook the sausage? You know.
No, raw.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
because sausage is smoked, it's cold smoked,
Yeah.
and I just take it out of the freezer. I buy it when it's like in the fridge section, and I just cut a section off, and just douse that. Just have a big thing of vinegar, and I just cut pieces and dip it in vinegar, let it soak, and I just eat it. I'll eat a whole ring of farmer sausage.
Packed sausage links that you're just like not even smoking it, right?
No, this is from the store.
Yeah.
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 It's been cooked. It's not raw.
Yeah. Well, as a kid, we just got it from the butcher, our farmer sausage. So it's just cold smoked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Hot mustard on farmer sausage is doable.
Oh, that's actually really good too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit, I forgot about that one.
I don't like to talk about what I do for diet too often. I don't like giving diets names, and I don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You do what you do, and you find what works for you. Like
Yeah.
people that go keto crazy, the ones that talk about it generally are following a fad and doing it wrong.
That's exactly. Yep.
And this and that and the other thing. But I have done a ketogenic diet quite successfully a number of times. And one of my go-tos, go to butcher, and you get like a kilo of pork fat
Yep.
for like $4, and cut like 4-ounce strips off
Yep.
and fry them up, and you can put like a little seasoning on them, and it's so good. And it's just straight fat.
3 more weeks, man.
Yeah.
3 more weeks.
But if you want to have a shake, because like any type of diet,
Yeah.
you kind of get tired of eating.
Yeah.
You want to have a shake, but then you're like that protein throws off my macros. Fry up some of that pork fat, and it's just pure fat. You get like 1 or 2 ounces or 1 or 2 grams of protein in it, and it's so good, man.
I'll have to try that.
Yeah, it's like a well-marbled steak without the steak.
Oh man, and I love steak. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Damn
it's
right.
fantastic.
Oh, before we go, let's just touch on Deadlift Dreams. It's 3 weeks out.
Yeah, it's coming up real quick, and we're
almost at
dollars
30K.
away from 30K.
Yeah.
We're really, really close. If everyone who entered hits their mark, there's a lot of people who need to
Pick it up.
pull up their bootstraps a little bit. But if everyone hits it, we'll hit our 40K mark.
I know I have not been getting a lot of fundraising, but
I know I have a lot of promises too, and I just
Yeah.
have to send a few reminders.
Yeah.
You got to text that link 3-4 times before someone's just like, I'll just do it right now before I keep putting it
Yeah.
off. And we always get a good late push, and I see us hitting that 40K mark.
Yep.
I'd like you, Curtis, and I talked about hitting 50.
Yeah.
I'd still like to see us hit it.
So would I.
We would need a really strong push, and kind of like comparing myself to the 242s when I'm a 220. I'll be a little disappointed if we don't hit 50, even if we hit our goal.
Because we set the goal.
Yeah. But it's coming along. If you can't donate, if you're not in position to, still come out and enjoy the day. We've added a lot of stuff to make it more family friendly. I think the truck pull this year is just going to be really cool to watch.
Yeah.
Deadlifting, it's exciting for lifters because we get it. Some people, once we hit 225, that's more weight than they've ever seen done.
Yeah.
So the difference between 225 and 700 doesn't mean anything to them.
No, exactly.
But to see someone lift a truck multiple times, everyone understands that. We've all been stuck in the snow or stuck in the mud, and you know how heavy a vehicle is. So it'll be quite a spectacle. And then we have the bouncy castle. We have the dunk tank.
Yep.
There's going to be face painting again. Manitoba Eggs is there, and they have games. And it's just going to be a really, really fun day. And most importantly, Spencer's going to be there.
Yeah.
Him and his dad are coming out. And he was like, what time should I be there? And I was like, well, it's a pretty long day.
Yeah.
We set up at 9, and then the event's going to start at 10. He's like, we'll be there for 9. And he's just like determined.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And if you've seen my Instagram, there's a picture of Spencer and I together, and we went for Dairy Queen, and just so freaking adorable. He pulled possibly the sweetest Irish goodbye I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's done his ice cream, and he's young, right? He was just kind of done with the day, and he's got up, walked to the door, and just stood and faced the door. It's just like, I'm done with all these adults over here.
Yeah.
Someone open this door for me so I can leave.
I've had it.
Super cute. And so he's going to be there, and it'll be just an amazing day for the family. And
Sweet. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really fun.
Yeah.
So if you can, September 16th, lifting starts at 10 at Training Grounds Gym in St. Malo. Great home base for it. I'm so happy that we kind of accidentally... It happened very naturally, and the C word kind of forced it to happen.
Yep.
But it's such a great venue for what we're doing.
Yep.
And thank you so much for making it available.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Yep. No, I'm enjoying it. So, yeah.
That's that.
That's that.
That's
so,
a wrap.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
At Beakley Mobile, Devin Penner, Strong Petty, Manitoba Strongman,
Deadlift for Dreams.
Deadlift for Dreams,
Dream
Red River
Factory.
Siding, Dream Factory, OnlyFans. No, I'm kidding. But share the show. Put it on your social media. Comment on YouTube. Send us some feedback. Let us know what you want. Let us know what you want to hear more of. Going into the winter, we're not going to have strongman comps running.
Yeah.
We're going to have some air that'll be more like this type of show. Well, I mean, we talked about things, but let us know what you want to hear. Do you want to hear stuff about training? Do you want to hear stuff about owning a gym, building a gym, business?
Devin's micro penis.
Micro penis. How that got me into real estate. I don't know. Just let's ask the questions here. But yeah, share the show. Let us know your thoughts. And yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.